Hello everybody, welcome to Kingsley's Quarters. Today we are going to be making stuffed pockets, y'all. We're making 3 different kinds, okay? Now what's special about this recipe is that it is keto friendly, y'all. Yes, you heard me. It's gluten free and it's low carb. This is a perfect recipe if you want to stick a couple of these in your kids' lunch boxes for school. If your honey bun is off to work, somebody may be a little bit picky, right? So you can go ahead and fill up these pockets with whatever you or your loved ones enjoy, okay? So this is a great recipe. Let's talk about all the ingredients that you're gonna need. Mozzarella cheese, okay? This is going to really help with the texture of our dough. Boom, that's 3 cups. Now, we're also going to need 2 ounces of cream cheese. Don't even worry about it, just put that bad baby right on in. Bloop, okay, boom. So I am going to melt the 3 cups of mozzarella and the 2 ounces of cream cheese in their microwave. While we're waiting on our mozzarella and our cream cheese to melt, we are going to go ahead and mix up our dry ingredients. And it's only 2. So you need 1 cup of almond flour. And you're also gonna need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. This baking powder is very important. Make sure that you do not forget to put this inside of your almond flour, okay? So you wanna make sure that if you want that good old fluffy, soft goodness, that you add this baking powder to your almond flour. All right, y'all, I really like adding oregano or like Italian seasoning to this pizza dough because it kind of gives it a little bit more flavor. Feel free to add some basil, maybe some salt and pepper, but I'm just gonna keep it simple with oregano, all right? Now that we have our almond flour and our baking powder and oregano in the bowl, we're gonna make sure that we whisk it all together so it's nice and even, because when we add it to the cheese, it'll be easier to get it nice and combined, all right? Boom, so we're gonna set this aside. This is what it's gonna look like, okay? Your cheese is going to look like melted cheese, basically. Your cream cheese is also going to be nice and heated as well, so it's easier to work with, all right? All right. What you're gonna find is that when you take this out of the microwave, it's gonna look like all your cheese is not melted, okay? Just try not to burn your cheese and just pull it right out. So the next thing that we're going to be adding is our egg. I like to grab some gloves because, honey, I don't need to get these pretty little nails all sticky, okay? All right, I wanna tell y'all something. This can be mixed up with a hand mixer. It can be mixed up with a mixer, like a counter mixer, right? But I'm just gonna use my hands, y'all, because I ain't trying to waste any more dishes. Boom, you're gonna need 1 egg. I like to add my egg in first before my almond flour, okay? And all you're gonna do is mix that egg into your cheese mixture, all right, y'all? Don't be afraid, okay? It's going to feel kind of like wet Play-Doh, all right? Just make sure that you're squeezing your egg into your cheese, all right? And make sure your cheese is not too hot or your eggs will end up cooking into the cheese, and you don't want that. I made a keto pizza dough with this recipe. And instead of making pizza pockets, stuffing them, my ingredients into the pockets, I decided to just make a whole pizza, and it was delicious. I was surprised, y'all, about the texture. I was kind of worried. I'm like, I don't know, y'all. I don't want this to taste too much like crackers. You know what I mean? But it didn't. It was bready. I was really impressed by the result. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add our almond flour. Okay, boop. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna start kneading the almond flour into the cheese, and it's gonna create a dough. I know there's some people out there who may be allergic for gluten, and I'm telling y'all, I got your back. Don't you worry, honey. This is not gonna make you sick. This is looking really beautiful. This is looking good, y'all. This is going to be so delicious, and I can't wait. All right, so if your dough is getting a little sticky, feel free to add a little bit more almond flour. You don't want this dough to be too dry, all right? Because if it starts separating and crumbling on you, that means that you have way too much almond flour in it, okay? I'm actually going to go ahead and pull my dough out of the bowl, and I'm going to start kneading it so that way it can come together very nicely, because we are going to kind of let this dough rest a little bit, all right? Okay. Now we are going to be laying our beautiful dough right over the almond flour. Boom. Okay? And you're going to start folding your dough into itself like you would regular dough. All right? I'm going to do this for about maybe 1 to 2 minutes. It doesn't really take too long. This is looking so good. So here's the thing. I used to love Hot Pockets as a little girl, all right? So my best friend, she really liked the Philly cheesesteak Hot Pockets. Okay, so I was like, girl, you eat that flavor? She was like, girl, yes, like that flavor's the bomb. And she like, you ain't never had it? I'm like, girl, no, it looks disgusting. And she like, so how you gonna knock it if you don't try it? I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna still heat up my little 4 cheese and then just in case I don't like it, right? When I tell y'all, I was regretting the days of all those trips to the grocery stores with my mama and the frozen aisle. And when she said, go ahead and pick you out your Hot Pockets, and I skimmed over the Philly cheesesteaks, I regretted it. It changed my life. It really did. So anyway, I really wanted some Hot Pockets this week, but we not making Hot Pockets. We making stuffed pockets. And not only are we making stuffed pockets, but they're keto and gluten free. Can I get a whoop whoop? All right, y'all. It's been Kingsley-fied, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this beautiful ball of joy over into the bowl, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and start gathering all of the equipment that we're going to need to roll her out and stuff her. Yep. That's going to be good. While our dough is over there meditating and thinking about its life and how it can be better, we're going to go ahead and have a little conversation about the ingredients that we're going to stuff our pockets in. I'm going to be doing a broccoli, chicken, and cheddar stuffed pocket. This is the chicken that I'm going to be using, okay? Now, all I did to this chicken was I put a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and Mrs. Dash, y'all, the original blend, okay? This broccoli has been steamed and chopped. Make sure when you're steaming your broccoli that you put some salt in your water, okay? Because you don't want your nutrients to seep out, all right? You want to make sure that it stays in. A little Kingsley tip. And then cheddar. What's up with the cheddar wanting to be with the red sauce? Stay in your lane. The cream cheese. That creaminess, that ooiness, that gooiness. All right, so we're also gonna be using the cheddar for our ham and cheddar. Now listen up, if it's no pork on the fork, honey, this ain't got nothing to do with you. I don't wanna hear it, okay? You don't have to use ham. And then next we're gonna keep it classy. You know, we gotta keep it classy, which is your regular pepperoni and cheese stuffed pocket. This is some really good uncured pepperoni, y'all. And then I got my mozzarella, and then I got my marinara. Y'all, I made my own marinara sauce. You do not have to make your own marinara sauce. So I think I've done enough chatting. Let's move on and handle that beautiful dough. You're gonna need a roller. I am choosing to cut my little pizza pockets in circles. I think it's gonna be adorable. But you don't have to do that, y'all. If you ain't got no cookie cutters, y'all, you ain't gotta be all over the top like me. You can just take a little knife and cut you in some squares, make it look like a little Pop-Tart, okay? Boom, so we gonna just roll it on out. Kinda don't want it to be too thick because they're gonna puff up in the oven, okay? This is like the funnest part. I really love rolling out dough, y'all. I really do. Now listen, like if it's like a special occasion, y'all can even cut these pizzas into different shapes with cookie cutters. You can do flowers, you can do Christmas trees, you can do little hearts. Whatever the occasion is, you can get really creative, okay? I am going to start cutting as close to the edge as possible. So good. All right, boom. Okay, let's scoop these bad babies up. Oops, and place them on the pan. All right, y'all, make sure you keep your scraps because you can combine the scraps back together and roll it all over again. We don't waste on this channel, y'all. We don't waste. We're gonna go ahead and start with our classic pepperoni and cheese. 2 slices of pepperoni. A little bit of that good old delicious mozzarella cheese. Okay? If a little bit falls out, that's all right. Just throw it right back in the bowl. And a little bit of pizza sauce. Boom. Over the top it goes. And we're going to seal it. Just like this. And I'm going to tell y'all something. If you all freaking out about it, just boop, pin it with your fingers, all right? I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to mold it to where it needs to be. It's nothing to cry about, y'all. Don't cry over spilled milk. This is homemade goodness, y'all. Don't put that pressure on yourself to be so perfect all the time, all right? Look at that. It's beautiful to me. So now we're going to move on to the ham and cheese. We're going to fold it just like that. And we're going to take a little bit of that cheddar. Oh, that's my stomach. I'm hungry, y'all. I'm telling you. I can't wait till this is done because I know it's going to be good. And I'm going to eat about 5 of these things. These are so cute. It's time consuming. But if you have little to do in a day, make you some stuffed pockets. I think I'm going to dip this in like a honey Dijon mustard sauce. That's going to be good. It's something about ham and mustard. They just go together. They're couple goals. Now listen, if my man wasn't so picky, this wouldn't even be a ham and cheddar. It would be a ham and Gruyere. Y'all know I'm over the top, but I'm not selfish. I know I'm over the top, but I'm not selfish. So we gonna let baby basic, and we gonna give him his little country ham and cheese. I'll be like, boy, if you don't eat that ham and cheese, stuffed bite. Honey, it's made with love. That's the flavor, love. You can take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy, honey. And that's kind of me too, because I'm a country girl, but I'm a country city girl. Let's just say that. We got one more flavor to do. And then we're going to pop these bad babies in the oven and see what they taste like. Now we are going to move on to that chicken, that broccoli and cheddar and chicken pocket. Y'all, I'm excited about this. We have our chicken. We have our broccoli. We have our cream cheese. And then we have our cheddar. I want to let y'all know something. The more ingredients you have, the bigger you want to cut your pockets. So for example, I'm over here being greedy. Mine is super stuffed. Voila! We're almost to the finish line, all right, but not quite. The next thing we're gonna do is we're going to poke a few holes in our pizza pockets. You don't need much, just about 2. Egg wash mixture. All of this is going to be a little bit of egg and some water. Now I'm going to pop these in the oven, and I'm gonna let them bake for about maybe 15 to 20 minutes. My pockets are ready. They're ready, they're ready. All right, let me go ahead and grab an oven mitt and pull them bad babies out. Oh, whoa, y'all. Oh, yes, honey, take a look. Take a look at that. Yes. Ah! Okay. I don't even want to wait till they cool down. Look at that. I told y'all. What did I tell y'all? I told y'all this was going to be good. Look at that. Oh. I don't want to talk anymore. I just want to taste it. Okay. Y'all, this is really happening. They're so soft. They smell like real bread. Seriously. Like, look at that. That is soft. Them babies is soft. This is the ham and cheese. I'm saving that ham and cheese for my man. I don't know if I'm in the mood for all of that. But y'all know I gotta try that classic. The classic pepperoni. But yes, back to what we're talking about. It's soft. It's fluffy. It's durable. And I'm trying to find me a chicken one. Here's one. Woo! I saw you from a miles away, honey. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh. 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 Mmm. That broccoli and cheddar with the chicken. Yeah. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My name is Kingsley. And you just had a Kingsley quarter recipe. Verified. I got some pockets to eat through. Thank you so much for tuning in. I had a lot of fun cooking with y'all. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. All right? So you can get a notification the next time I post a video. All right? I love you. I'll see you next time.